Hey everyone, welcome back to Thrive with Sushmita. Today we will learn something super interesting. English words that change their meaning completely when we make them plural. For example, glass and glasses, they don't mean the same thing. So let's explore such words which make English fun and fascinating. The first pair is air and airs. Air means the mixture of gases that surrounds our earth. Like we need fresh air to live and breathe. Of course, airs, AIRS, means being proudy or having some showy behavior. Like she puts on airs since she has been promoted. Okay, so she's very proud of that. See how the meaning changed completely? The next pair is glass and glasses. Now, if I say, oh, these are my glasses that I use to read, right? And glass is that material which we all know. The window pane is made up of glass and I use these glasses to read. The next pair is marble versus marbles. Now, marble means the type of stone, like the floor is made up of marble or the Taj Mahal is made up of marble. But when we talk about marbles, those tiny round balls, those tiny toy balls, kids enjoy playing with marbles. The next pair is wood versus woods. Now, wood is that material that we get from the trees, like the furniture is made of wood or the chair is made up of wood. But when we talk about woods, it talks about a small forest, like we went for a walk in the woods. The next is iron and irons. Iron is a metal, like the gate is made up of iron. But when we talk about irons, we refer to several iron objects, more like the tools or the appliances. She packed her hair irons for the trip, right? The next one is hair versus hairs. Now, when we talk about hair, it means all the hair, like, which we have on our head. She has beautiful, shiny hair. But when we talk about hairs, it means individual strands of hairs. I can see 2 gray hairs on your shirt. The next pair is work versus works. Now, work means some kind of job. I have too much of work to do, which means there are so many jobs that or tasks that I really need to perform. But when we talk about works, it talks about some creation or factories. Let me put it in a sentence. The entire works of Shakespeare is worth reading. Or maybe he works in a steel works. So means he works in a factory, a steel factory. Okay. The next pair is paper versus papers. When I talk about paper, it is that material that we use to write. For example, I need some paper to write on. Okay, but when I talk about papers, it means some kind of documents. Okay, I need to submit my papers for my visa interview. So here, when I talk about papers, it refers to documents. The next pair is force versus forces. Force means strength. The wind blew with all its force or with great force. But when we talk about forces, we talk about a military or police. Okay, the armed forces protect our country. Now let's move on to the next pair of words. They are content versus contents. It's just I'm adding an S, but see how the meaning will completely change. When I talk about content, it talks about the subject or topic. For example, the content of this video is educational. But when I talk about contents, it means every single thing inside something. Okay, like the contents of the box were missing. So here I'm talking about every single thing or things that were present inside that box. The next pair is good versus goods. So when I talk about good, it means something which is beneficial. Like exercise is good for health. But when we talk about goods, here I mean products, like this store sells imported goods. The next pair is manner versus manners. When I talk about manner, it means something is done in some way, the way something is being done. For example, she spoke in a gentle manner. Okay, so it is talking about how she spoke or how something was done. But when we talk about manners, it means basic etiquettes or behavior. Okay, like good manners never go out of fashion. The next pair is custom versus customs. When I talk about custom, it means tradition. For example, it's Indian custom to greet with folded hands. But when I talk about customs, it talks about the government department that checks goods at the border. We passed through the customs at the airport. The next pair is pain versus pains. When I talk about pain, it means hurt. Okay, like I feel pain in my leg, so my leg hurts. Okay, but when I talk about pains, it means to put in great effort. She took pains to prepare the presentation perfectly, which means she had put in great efforts for the presentation. So, did you see that how just the letter S, when added in words, can change its meaning completely? English is sometimes tricky, right? But yes, constant effort and practice will take you where you want to reach. This was all about today. If you enjoyed learning this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel for such fun English lessons, which makes it easy to learn and will help you to express and thrive better. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care, keep smiling, keep thriving. Thank you so much.